here's your host, Deb St.Hilaire.
Hey, it's Tuesday already. I can't hardly believe it, how quickly this week goes by. You know, and I think one of the reasons why it's going by so quickly is because it's already June, and yet it doesn't feel like it. It kind of is a bummer, but oh well, what are you going to do, right? I'll take it. So, welcome to the Devolution Show. It's our first show in June, and there was really nothing going on this week to pick out a theme. So we have not picked out a theme based on the day. We have, however, picked out a theme based on our guest, and she's a very special guest indeed. Her name is Martha Blessing, and she is a blessing. And I'm going to tell you why I knew that she and I would be friends. I read this on her Facebook, and it just resonates so highly with me and the Devolution's whole philosophy. And then I learned the spiritual journey had nothing to do with being nice. It was about being real, authentic, having boundaries, honoring my space first, others second. And in this space of self-care, being nice just happened. It flowed, not motivated by fear, but by love. And I welcome to the show Martha G. Blessing. Welcome, Martha.
Hi, Deb.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Happy
Good.
June.
Thank you. Same to you. And Martha, you're an author. What books have you written?
My book is called God is a Pink Cloud.
Oh, I love that. Oh, my God, I want to read it.
Yeah, the subtitle is Crossing the Spiritual Bridge from Pain and Illness to Peace, Health, and Happiness. And it is the story of my first healing journey and how I reversed fibromyalgia and how I work with clients today. And it's really about possibilities and not believing in everything that we've been told or taught, that we have other options. We have other options.
I love it. I think we should delve into that a little bit more. And you're a medical medium, and that goes right along with that book.
Yeah.
And you are the founder of the Divine Healing you're the diviner of Soul Light Academy, and you're a medical medium at Divine Healing Blueprint.
Yep.
So that's your business name, correct?
Correct.
I love it.
Soul Light Academy, and you know they all come together, Dad. They all. I was a nurse for 25 years, and when I found myself in a wheelchair, and I had 3 back surgeries, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, you start asking questions. And it wasn't so much about begging and praying as it was just trying to learn and understand, like, what is up with this, because I didn't think this is how my life was going to be. And I started getting led. I started getting, I was willing to be open to something different and something else. And I was born a medical, I was born a medium. My grandmother was a medium and a healer, and so was my great cousin. So it kind of runs in my genes, and I had been getting messages from the time I was very young, but I blocked them out. I pushed them away because that's, a pretty confusing state to be for a child.
Yes.
So let's just turn that off for a while. But, it all came back up when I got into nursing school, and I would hear some people are familiar with medical intuitives, and some people are familiar with mediums, and I'm kind of somewhere in between a morph of that. And I would go down the halls in the hospital in my rotations, clinical rotations in nursing school, and I would get messages about the mental, emotional, and spiritual causes of the physical illnesses of the people in the beds in the rooms. So that is kind of where all of this came together with Soul Light Academy and the Divine Healing Blueprint. I had a wellness center. I've been a practitioner for many years in energy healing and Ayurvedic medicine. And what I came to find was, I was doing a real disservice because I would give people a reading and I would give them information, and then I'd say, here, go do this. And they didn't have enough tools. They didn't have enough background and knowledge and the wisdom and everything that I had gone through. So I needed to teach that, and that's how the Divine Healing Blueprint came up. It's really about that mantra or motto of give me a fish, feed me for a day, teach me to fish, feed me for a lifetime. So my purpose here is to help change the face of medicine by teaching people how to go inside and find their own divine, innate healing and align that body, heart, soul, spirit together to create that vibration of health.
Amen. You just can't believe how timely, how long have we had this show planned that you're being here?
Right? It was several months.
And I can't, and I'm sure that you know that this is exactly the right time that we need to be having this show for very many reasons. Yeah. So thank you very much for being with us tonight. So how long have you are you still a nurse? I mean, do you still practice nursing?
No.
And how long ago?
I say I'm a nurse, but I don't practice as one, legally by the state. But I got into nursing because I wanted to help end people's pain and suffering. I wanted to do something about the pain and suffering.
And yet you found that wasn't the way to do it, which,
No.
You're the second nurse that is not practicing, although the other one still works a couple shifts, so I can't say she's not that I've talked to this week. I talked to another one on Tuesday that is also an energy healer and an educator. Isn't that something? Yesterday I talked to her. So that just amazes me. So you believe and you practice and you teach people how to find their healing from within instead of from without. Is that correct?
Yeah. Which, at the end of the call, give me a little 5 minutes because I want to let people know I actually have a teleseminar when you talk about divine timing. I have
Excellent.
a teleseminar going on tomorrow night that people can join. It's a free teleseminar, but it's sort of the entrance into a lot of my teaching and education, and that is the 5 C's of health, healing, and transformation. And it's really going into, these are the things, here's where you need to start. And it's getting at these core concepts and enabling and teaching people these tools so that they can become their own healer. And, like I talk about in my book, it's never just about a physical illness. Not only did I reverse fibromyalgia, I also reversed a rare, quote, incurable blood cancer. And having the gifts and the skills that I do, when I got that call, I got off the phone and I sat and I made a cup of tea. And one of my spirit guides said to me, gave me a message, gave me information about blood, the river of life, where if you cut yourself off from the river of life. So there's always a spiritual message in there. And I teach about the 4 levels of consciousness in healing. And so the first step is to figure out, to understand what those 4 levels are. and to see what level you're at, and are you willing? Level 1 is Western medicine, and I'm sick, and I have nothing to do with the cause or the outcome. And that's really a victim state.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you go to the doctor and you're helpless. And you have no say in the outcome. And you put all of your eggs in that doctor's basket that he's going to determine how it's going to go. And then, and that system isn't working. Our system of medicine isn't healing. And even in holistics. So that's kind of how I got to where I am in the education, is that I know what it takes. And people aren't getting the information. There's a few people teaching what I teach, but even as a holistic practitioner, level 2, you say, I might have something to do with this, but I'm going to go to the doctor, and then I'm going to go to holistic practitioners. Because at least that's better than, it's more in alignment, more natural. But even at that level, you're still expecting. Don't get me wrong, Reiki is wonderful, healing touch is wonderful, acupuncture is wonderful, but you're still expecting something and someone outside yourself to fix it.
Right.
You're not going inside. You're not learning the tools to tap in to see the truth of who you really are. And when we say, 90% of illness is caused by stress, well, what's stress? We don't have a stress meter. We can't, plug you in at the doctor's to a specific, and they say, well, no, go do this and go do that. And, stress is our emotional response to life. Stress is our emotional and our feeling responses and our fears to life.
And those
usually,
we can control, right?
Yeah. It's usually one of those, is the world a safe place? Am I going to be abandoned? There's 3 universal fears. And we worry about, I'm going to run out of money, or, so-and-so's going to leave me, or, we just get all in a twist about that kind of stuff. And so it's really about short-circuiting, and illness is created by the fact that we hold these emotions somewhere in our body. The issues are in the tissues. And so these are the things that I start out teaching, is those 4 levels of consciousness.
So we have, the first one is Western medicine. The second one is holistic practitioners. What's the third one?
So the third one is, you might still go to a doctor, you might still go to a holistic practitioner, but your awareness and your language towards yourself is, I'm 100% responsible. I'm going to do those other things to keep myself alive while I'm figuring out the tools I need to go inside to get at this. And what I teach people is how, instead of pushing it away, this is an opportunity. Every illness is a spiritual opportunity. It's really quite divine, because it's a message from God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call that energy. It's a message, because our bodies do know how to be healthy. And I didn't get more than you got, or, Sally Smith or whomever. We all come from that same energy. And our bodies know how to be healthy. So at that third level, instead of trying to push away the symptoms, we move right into them. We move right towards them and ask, what's the message? What is it? You've got my attention because there's this pain, or there's, something. And we can tell. I mean, these are the messages that I get.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was scheduled to come up in a half an hour. I apologize there.
Oh, that's okay. Gotta love when it's
minutes.
live.
Yes. Thank